Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Ricada of Ricada Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. Not western Minnesota, not eastern Minnesota, not southern Minnesota, not northern Minnesota, but fence-sitting Tim Pool special central. Damn it, I screwed it up. I had one job. One job to make the central Minnesota dramatic, put a beanie on it to play guitar for chickens. And no, I didn't do any of it. Just ruined it. Like a souffle that you leave in the oven too long. Anyway, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Monday. Welcome to Monday. Already drunk? No. God, you weirdos. Who drinks all day? No. I don't. Honestly, though, who does drink all day? Outside of shows, like live shows and stuff, not me. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So here's what we got. It's Monday, y'all. Look, I know it's Monday. And Monday is this weird place and where everything like sort of sucks. Like, oh, well, the weekend was cool or garbage. It doesn't matter if your weekend was good or bad. You're still like, I guess we're going to go do this work thing or something. And we're going to go do that. And then you're like, well, but I don't want to. I got all these projects to do. I got all this stuff to do, but I don't want to go do them because it is still Monday. But with Monday comes the morning of the week and a whole bunch of new news stories. So we've got some to hit tonight, and I've got some basic layout ideas here. I did a thing that I should do more often. I just went ahead and asked locals. I'm like, what do you guys want me to talk about? Like a Jeremy Hambley. Hey, what's on everybody's minds for videos tomorrow? I did that on locals, and lo and behold, they have like 1 million stories, and a lot of them that I'd already seen, kind of scattered around the web. But it's like, well, I mean, I've seen them, but do people want to talk about them? Turns out they had some ideas for what to talk about. So I grabbed that. I'll probably be doing that a lot more for some for supporters on locals and getting some more input on the show. One of the things I also want to bring back is What the Fuck Wednesday, because I like What the Fuck Wednesday, and I think other people did too. So some more locals participation being brought back into the show. I think that'll be fun. But we've got, here's where I was going with that before the ADD kicked in. We've got some basic topics laid out in the title, and we've got some other things that we may spice in there as the show goes on. Kind of depends where we are. But first, we're going to be talking about Fetterman because I don't know if you guys know who Fetterman is. He's a senator from Pennsylvania, and he dresses worse than I do. There's not many people like that, but he had a stroke. And he's like, people make fun of my stroke. And like, this guy runs committees, but he's out there complaining that people make fun of his inability to do stuff. Like, there was a whole meme about how shitty he dresses, and now they're running like a cover story where he's out there like, I can't process language anymore. And everybody's just going, why are you in Congress? Go home. Like, don't be you. Like, resign your governor, recess appoint some other Democrat, like, because that's it. And then, they can serve out your term because you can't. You shouldn't be in charge of anything. But our government is weird like that. So we're going to talk about Fetterman, but we'll use that as a little bit of launch pad to talk about, this interesting concept of elections and politics and the intersection of those and good governance, because we have a system to pick to pick these people. And that system persists whether or not it's reasonable that these people hold any office at all. And it's got good and bad sort of things to it, but it's the quirk of a political system that uses some semblance of a democratic process. And why can I not click on this fucking window? So we got to talk about that because it matters in all elected positions. But for the past couple terms, we've been talking about stuff like using the 25th Amendment to get rid of presidents and like how long can senators stay. I mean, hell, we've got Bob Menendez, who's not listed in the title here, but here's this guy who's routinely charged with corruption and other bullshit. He's a Democrat senator, and he's a senior senator of the state, and he doesn't look like he's going anywhere, even though, all the little shit that they charge of, allege against guys like Alito, Clarence Thomas, Matt Gaetz, really any of these Republican politicians. I mean, Bob Menendez doesn't just do it. He like films himself doing it while jerking off because he's immune to all of it somehow. And he just throws it in their face and no one wants to do anything about that. But is that wrong? Is it right? I don't know. We got to use these examples of people we have to talk about it. Because I think it makes an interesting system that the people can effectively persist in being represented, at least sometimes, by criminals if they want, right? So we got that. We got a weird Trump story that we might squeeze in about him, I don't know, maybe buying a gun while under a federal felony indictment. Really, really illegal. Don't do that on camera. Even if you're Trump, we might squeeze that story in, but we'll get around to some stuff. Now, there's also California. California decided to pass a ban on magazines over 10 rounds. Now, these are not the magazines that we all wish had boobs in them, but don't. These are the magazines that we wish had bullets in them, but sometimes don't when the federal government decides to buy all of them and give them to the IRS or whatever. But it's the gun magazine, right? I'm Keanu Reeves flipping magazines everywhere. They decided to ban them if they had more than 10 rounds, because apparently if you're being attacked, your attackers come in groups of 10 or less, and you don't ever need more. Like, who would ever need 30 rounds in a magazine, I guess? And I'm like, well, apparently you've never watched a police marksmanship training, because I think they need all 30 to hit the target one time. Or if they're shooting at a black guy, no, they hit them pretty well. R.I.P. Diallo. Never. Whew, that got spicy quick, like a Taco Bell taco that falls into a jar of mayonnaise. But the mag ban has been blocked by the most based federal judge in California. He's hilarious. Benitez, Saint Benitez, the patron saint of bulletry. He keeps getting these cases, like they keep ending up before him in some cosmic irony. And he's like, nope, Constitution exists, and so does the Second Amendment. Fuck you guys. And Benitez threw it out. They're pissed off. Now, it didn't go so well up in Washington State, I believe it was, but it did go so well in California. So we're going to take a look at that. Always hilarious to have Benitez out there on the front lines of the Second Amendment. And what is he wielding? Is he wielding an AK-47 or an AR-136 or whatever gun thing it is these days? Look, it's an undetectable polymer ghost gun magazine clip hand rifle. Thank you. My name is Democrat politician A. No, it's he's not out there with a gun. He's got a pen, and the penis mightier than the sword, and he is just striking down amendment cases with the power of Bruen, the recent Supreme Court decision on the Second Amendment. So we're going to talk about that as well, because Bruen has been a gift that just keeps on giving. And it's funny because it was from an innocuous case, but Clarence Thomas decided to take the opportunity to drop his giant balls all over the faces of everybody with the Bruen opinion, and it's been phenomenal. After that, we've got Canada just going ahead and sucking off a Nazi. Like, that was funny. Did anybody see that? Did anybody see? They're like, and here we have this Ukrainian superhero. He fought the Russians that one time. It's like, that guy is really old. When did he fight the? Oh. Hmm. And it's like, what is happening? How did this one get past the censors or the editors or whatever? Like, I know how all of my mistakes do, but I mean, I guess Trudeau's just taking after his father. Letting those mistakes through. As a Castro joke, I don't know. Because Castro didn't like gays and somehow he kept his son Trudeau alive. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay. Look. Do people remember that Castro really hated gay people? Like the lefties. That's what I'm talking about. The ones who were like, oh, Canada has great socialized medicine. And, or not Canada, Cuba. And they're a better country than the US. Is like, they just like jailed people for putting their penises in butts, right? Like, they're super anti-gay. And he's like, it's just funny to me. I don't know. It's these weird hypocrisy. It doesn't matter. Canada's just like, yeah, this guy, he's a hero, I guess. Like, what war was he in? It was like the Korean War, right? They're like, no, that wasn't us. Oh, which one was it? World War II. Oh, yeah, he fought the Russians. That was pretty good. What side were they on? I don't know. I don't know how that happened. And it was, it's very funny. It's very funny. But now you got a bunch of people like, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, well, it kind of is. It kind of is a big deal. Maybe not. We got to talk about that. And then we're going to wrap up with a little less political topic, a little less law and politics, and a little bit more on the culture side, because I saw this weird thing happen. First of all, many of you know by now my position on like the Redpill bro community. And the leading man of that is just Pearly Things. I think. I don't know. And it's these guys. I don't know how to describe. How do you describe the Red Pill community to anyone sane? That I'm not sure about. Basically, it's people who go online and say stuff that every guy who's like mad at women, even for like 10 minutes, like just for whatever reason, like they got dumped or like arrested or something happened. And they're like, fucking women always do this shit. Like, they have that moment where they caricaturize every woman in existence into one like set of bad traits, but then they stay there forever. And the funniest ones are the women who are like, trad-based women are like this, and men should put them in chains, but they won't put me in chains because I look like a melting Reese's peanut butter cup. And it's weird. I don't get it. Look, I know there's a lot of interesting quirks between the two sexes, and I want to we'll intro talking about one of them, which is one of my favorites. I found a woman on Twitter who found out that men never get complimented, like just in general. Now, I know you do that, like the 3 super studs in the audience who are walking around, who have to like hoist their dicks over their shoulders and then grab them under their butts. And like, and they walk around with like 18 pounds of muscle per square inch of their body. You see what happened there? Like, I'm so embarrassingly slight was like, 18 pounds of muscle sounds like a lot. And then I said it out loud and I was like, oh God, you pussy. No, it's got, make it ridiculous. So it doesn't sound like you're so weak. But no, and so they're like these, I know you guys do, but there's a bunch of guys who walk around and just don't get, they don't really get a lot of physical compliments from women. They get complimented on achievements or interesting things or facts or knowledge or something, right? Like they do something. And they, like, great job at X. Really cool that you're good at baseball, something like that. But most of them, they're not walking around. Some ladies like, hey, nice dick. Like they don't get that a lot. But guys will do this to women all the time. In fact, funny story for me, probably not for you guys, but too bad. You're at my mercy. I was at that Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper concert in Nashville. And I was with a group of people, and one of the ladies from our group is very tall. She's very pretty, thin, and she was wearing this this dress that was kind of hilarious because it had a slit. You know how dresses have like a slit so these women can actually walk, but the dresses aren't like poofed out like it's the Victorian era. And when she bought the dress, she thought the slit came up the side, but it turns out it went up the front, way up the front. And it's kind of like a racy dress. But anyway, it doesn't matter. About like halfway through, we got there a little late, so I say halfway through the show, but it was near the end of Alice Cooper's set and then leading into Rob Zombie's set. We were walking out there, and there's this guy standing there right above our area because we were down on the floor. And so there's the wall and there's people up there, and he's destroyed, right? He is massively tossed, and he just comes to the edge and he looks there. He goes, "You're so fucking hot." He yells that a few times, and he's like, "I'm gonna fuck you." Like, it was so embarrassing. It was the funniest cat call I've ever seen. Cause like cat calls are hilarious, right? To me. Cause they're like creative and they're like, "Hey girl, what's your ring size?" Like whatever it is. I don't know. I always picture them being done by like lovable minorities with like more charisma than most white people have. Cause it's funny to me. Except it tends to happen at construction sites. That means job. But no, so this guy's just up there screaming that he would fuck her, like in the drunkest way possible. And I'm like, well, cat calls are funny. But see, women get these compliments. Like men will do this. That guy thought somewhere in his mind, like, maybe this will work. Her boyfriend's right there walking with her too. And he's just laughing. But he's like, if I just scream loud enough that she's so hot, like obviously she'll climb up the wall to me and give him a blowjob. Like that's a guy's thought process. We're like, well, might as well. I mean, it's not going to happen if I don't scream. So, but women aren't used to this. Like women don't do that back. And there's reasons, and I want to talk about those. So we'll kind of lead into this discussion that I then see with that, because I love that topic. It always makes me laugh and smile when women kind of find this out. And the reason it does, don't get me wrong, like don't get me all mixed up on this. The reason I really like it is because when women find this out and they find out how it is for them to make a guy really, really happy, a lot of times the guy that they use that on is their husband or their boyfriend. And they just like their husband walks in the door sometime the next day or two, comes home from work, and she's like, "Hey, your ass looks really good in those pants." And it does this amazing magical thing for this guy where he goes over and he immediately starts beating her because he assumes that she cheated on him and she's trying to make up for it. But that's the thing. It's this wonderful interaction where for just a second, the guy feels really good before he feels betrayed, and then he kills her and he gets on the news. So I love that. I love that about it. And that's mostly jokes, guys. Calm down. But it's this idea that you can really make a guy's day by doing this. But it doesn't just work in this one way, guys. Like, and this is the thing that needs to be said about it. It's based on the site. I'm going to get into that later. I'm going to give you that one special trick. You can place tiny ads in a newspaper and get 10,000 pounds of ass a day. We'll talk about that at the end in this subject. But it's going to roll into this debate over Pierce Brosnan's wife, which I saw erupt on Twitter, and it was the most baffling shit I've ever seen. That was the weird thing. Where the red pill community is consistently talking about like traditional marriage and families and stuff like that, but also like women being hoes who like leave men and everything. And then they like go after Pierce Brosnan's wife because she's like, she put on some weight. Like she's a little rotunder, not big. Like she's not massively fat, right? She's just thicker. She's kind of old, and she's got a little chunk in the arms. She's got a little squishy up top, which some guys like. You know, she's just a little bit bigger. She used to be smaller 22 years ago when he married her, and I'm going to tie all this back in geniusly to my own thing that the red pill community never talks about. That people get really pissed off at me for this rant, but they never talk about like what pregnancy and delivering children and bringing it in does to a woman's body. And it's funny because you have an example now of this woman who's born a bunch of children to Pierce Brosnan. She's been faithful to him allegedly for 22 years. They have this traditional marriage that should be enviable. And the red pill community is like, oh man, she got fat. Brosnan should have dumped her ass. Like, Jesus Christ, guys, pick a fucking narrative. And so yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit because this one blew my mind. Like I didn't know, I didn't see this coming. Right. I didn't see it like a skinhead in prison. I had no idea. It came out of nowhere. So that's kind of the layout of the show today. And it's and I want to talk about that because people may actually be a little surprised by how my takes work on that, but maybe not. I don't know. It's not as straightforward as red pill community wrong, trad Catholic community right, or whatever it is. Like life isn't straightforward all the time in any direction. And that's kind of the key. So I just want to explore the topic. And I think it's a great place to do it, mainly because these people are so goddamn fucking insufferable, especially when it's like people who don't have anything resembling that the type of life that they're advocating. And they actually often engage in the type of life that they're advocating against specifically. And it's so weird that they hold these positions of commentary. I mean, look, makes me crack up laughing. I just don't understand it. Sophia says, can pearly things at least be wrong? She is very annoying. Can pearly things be wrong? Oh, at least like almost every time she opens her mouth. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into this show. Thank you for abiding my rambling. And we'll go from there. Oh, one final thing. This is quick. The Nashville live show. I did finally get it posted up over the weekend. Took forever to process, but it is live on Locals for supporters only. If you want to take a gander at it, look for $5 a month. You can join the Locals community and get to see that just fine. And you know, you join one time and see all the content on there, which is great. So you can come check that out if you want. But I gotta repin it here. which I'm doing right now. And I'm going to share the link to the post in the chat. But yeah, you can come check it out live. It's what the fuck is this? Why do you have to do it this? I got it. Just a second. Don't worry about it. Share it in the chat here. If you have not seen it and would like to check it out, that is posted up. And again, there's more locals inclusive content on the way and just general interactivity, but also content on the way. But that one is actually posted now. You can check it out. Again, it's $5 a month to join, $50 for a year. You get 2 months free. Come check out the locals community if you have not. There's always an exclusive chat going 24 hours a day, every single day, and some other stuff that happens there as well. Usually degeneracy. All right, let's jump into this. Krista B says, please get Matt from Fudbusters on to chat about the auto key card case and the injustice served to Matt Hoover. We did actually briefly talk about this a while back, but we will. I would love to talk to him again. I'd love to talk to Matt again. I always enjoy talking to Matt from Fudbusters, so we'll get that worked out. Also, looking to set up a show with Larry Correa. Oh, tomorrow I'm going on a show with my friend Joel, who has he used to run a show, a podcast a long time ago that I would guest on from time to time, even before I did my podcast, I think. But he's starting up a new show. I'll be on his show tomorrow. I'll be sharing that link around. Come check it out. I think you'll like him. I think you'll like his show. If I don't know what his new show's like, but if it's anything like the last one, I think people enjoy it. And then I think on Wednesday, I'm probably going on with Elijah Schaefer. So those will be great. Christoph Muller Olsen says, I talked to a lady who was a diplomat in the 80s. She bragged about Cuba being top in the world on human transmission surgery, never asked if the patients agreed. No, yeah, I don't know. I don't want Cuba to be the model for anything. So, let's see. Mooney 66 over on Rumble is now a monthly supporter. Thank you. Thank you, Mooney. All right. So with that, here we go. Fetterman. That's what. Let me get Fetterman pulled up here. And then we'll. This is, I don't know, man. This is one of those guys where you're like, why are you in Congress at all? Oh, and also I have this one that we might get to. Rep Gozar's homophobic Sunday rant, which maybe we'll read that just for a nice. You know, I'm always up for a homophobic rant. I don't know about you guys. They're usually just a little bit refreshing. Okay, here we go. Here's this story. John Fetterman fights back tears over post-stroke ridicule, says he lost the ability to fully process language. That's rude. I don't know what he sounds like. Let's listen. Should we listen to Fetterman go through this sentence? Then we'll read the article. I think sometimes my headphone cable gets stuck under my wheels. Here we go. Look at him. Looks like Tom Selleck's retarded brother. Matthew Self says, aren't you going on with Legal Vices and Solomon tomorrow morning? Well, is that tomorrow morning? Shit. I didn't, my brain spaced out that it was the morning. It depends on what driving I have to do. I may not be on for the whole thing, but I will be trying to make at least some of it. So we'll figure that out as well. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't remember when exactly that show was. Okay, here we go. Let's see what Fetterman has.
About 18 months ago, and I have lost my ability to fully process language.
Okay.
And I like to think I was an empathetic person, truly. But until that happened, I've raised to a whole different kind of level as well. And it's profound to know though that I never really considered that without this kind of technology, I couldn't watch television. And I can't imagine if I didn't have this kind of a bridge to allow me to communicate with other people effectively.
Huh?
And because I live in a political environment, I was ridiculed and made fun of because I wasn't able to process things sometimes or say things. So
Like right now, hold on, bro. Part of the problem is you wear sweatshorts and hoodies and stuff, which I'm actually fine with. I want to point this out. Like, I don't want to dress up to be in the Senate, like the hallowed halls of the Senate. Most of those guys have DUIs and all sorts of other shit going on. Like, I don't know why we're pretending that senators and congressmen are like worthy of, like, oh, they need to be in a suit. These are serious people. Like Ted Kennedy let a girl die drowning in his fucking car. Like, these aren't great men. I'm pretty sure Bob Menendez, I think, shit, if I remember right, he might be one of the stories of the guys who would go out with Ted Kennedy and they just like grab waitresses and fondle them and stuff. Like, these are bad dudes. So like, I don't mind that thing, but there is like, I don't think they should be required to wear suits is what I'm saying. And I don't really care when someone doesn't. However, if you don't, and you also like can't get through a sentence very well or communicate an idea very well, they're not really making fun of you so much as they're making fun of the idea that you're a congressman, that you got elected while not being able to communicate or even walk for a time. Like that's a funny quirk of our country. And yeah, they're going to keep doing it because if you can't fully process language, and this is his admission, his thing, if you can't fully process language, you should not be passing laws. That's it. You should not be passing laws if you can't process language. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but the way you like pass law and parse law out is to process language. You have to know what is said, and not just know what is said. You have to know what's meant. You have to be able to interpret that. You have to be able to have a common understanding of what the words are. Sometimes you have to pick out very specific words. And no hate to people who've had strokes or any other brain issue that prevents them from doing that, but you just shouldn't be in Congress. And the fact that you are is kind of funny. That's the ridicule, brother. No one, like, if you weren't a senator, no one would give a shit that you had a stroke. Either way, like, you just be every other normal fucking person who has an ailment. Like, people who know you would care and nobody else would. But you decided to be in this spotlight and persist on, probably because someone shoved their hand up your ass and puppet mastered you through it. But
I'm so sorry that I'm sure many of you had to go through this kind of thing. I was lucky that I was lucky to go through my life, the vast majority of that with this kind of disability that I have. But again, I can't imagine and how the challenges, and I admire everyone that has to kind of live with these kind of struggles and prevail over them.
I don't know that you prevailed over them, honestly. But wait, so is he talking to a room full of disabled people? Is that the gimmick? Is that what it was? I guess he became emotional during a committee hearing Thursday, opening up about the ridicule he faced after a major health scare last year. It's not, even the New York Post is couching this weirdly. It wasn't a health scare. It was a fucking stroke. It's a life-altering event. It's a conscious-altering event. It is a brain process-altering event. It's not like, whoa, you dodged that one. No, you don't dodge it. You're in recovery the rest of your life. Something breaks in your brain, and it usually doesn't come back to full. That's what makes them so horrifying. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but those are the terrifying, ailments, right? Like dementia, Alzheimer's, something like a stroke, things that permanently destroy your ability to perceive reality. That's terrifying. Not remembering your kids, your family, your friends, stuff like that. Not being able to communicate ideas to someone. My grandfather, who's one of the smartest men I knew ever. He had he didn't have a stroke, but he had this cancer. And as part of the cancer, he got to this place where something happened. I think he had like catastrophically low sodium levels for a while, and it broke something up here, right? And he's this guy. He's an engineer. He's brilliant, objectively brilliant, well respected in his field, well respected by his peers and community. But after that, he'd be talking about stuff, and he would just transition through not similar themed things with illogical but understandable connections is what he would go through. Like when he was talking about, one time I was sitting there and he was talking about lap band surgery, laparoscopy band surgery, right? Where it's where they don't fully cut off part of your stomach. They just like trim it down, I think is what that is. But he started talking about that. And once he got to bands, he transitioned to talking about the rings around planets. And then as he was, going through talking about planets, he started talking about something else that involved, spherical objects. And he just, because again, he was an engineer. So like physics and math was all part of it. And so these themes like loosely connected, and his brain wasn't able to go through them logically. He would go through them illogically. But what the interesting part was what he was saying about them was correct, right? When he would talk about lap band surgery, he was talking about lap band surgery. But once he transitioned to planets, he was talking about planets and the astronomy around them and stuff like that. But you could see him be exceedingly frustrated because that wasn't what he was trying to talk about. His brain was like a claw machine, right? Like just grabbing topics out of the fucking bin and dumping them down to his mouth. That's horrifying to most people. The inability to communicate and be communicated with, or to remember things. Those are the real terrible things, terrifying things, but they're not health scares. Like a health scare is like a heart attack where you almost die, or you get hit by a car. I don't know, have myocarditis because you took a government issued thing. Like whatever it is, that's a health scare. This is not a health scare. This is an ongoing problem and issue. And why can't we just say it? It's not his fault. He didn't deserve it. It's not something that he chose to do. It just happened. And now he should go. He should leave Congress. Well, the Senate. He should leave the Senate and any position of power. He's not fit for it. Again, sorry. Them's the breaks. Shitty way that panned out. But, some people get hit by lightning too, man. All right, here we go. The former Pennsylvania lieutenant governor sustained hearing and other cognitive issues following a May 2022 stroke just before the Keystone State's Democratic Senate primary. I've lost my ability to fully process language. Fetterman, 54, said in front of the panel at the Senate Special Committee on Aging, describing the profound benefit technology had on his life. Okay. I'm sorry. My grandparents couldn't program a goddamn VCR. So don't talk about profound benefit technology had on old people. Oh my God. Matthew Self says legal vices in Solomon aren't tomorrow morning, but tomorrow evening, 8 to 10 Central. My mistake. Just went to double check. Okay, now I have a conflict. I'll have to check and see what we can do about that. Apex Visual Solution says talking about logic in 2023, almost 2024. Lol seems illogical. Oh, and Better Bachelor. Hey, what's up, brother? He says, you really going to talk Red Pill without me? Shenanigans, I say. How dare you? We should talk again soon. But yes, I'm going to shun you. I'm going to shun you like the dirty scoundrel you are tonight. And I'm going to add only my THOTSs because it's only a small part of the show. But we should do another show, man. It's always fun to talk. Definitely need to do that. So I'll hit you up. Let's do a show soon. All right. Oh, Matthew Self now says October 2nd. You're not even right. That's right. I was thinking, I was like, I don't think I had anything going. October 2nd is the day. Okay. So thanks for clearing that up. Thanks for confusing me immensely and then clearing it up. Much appreciated. All right. Back to this story. Because I live in a political environment, I was ridiculed and made fun of because I wasn't able to process things sometimes or say anything, he added. It's fighting back tears This should disqualify him. Fetterman, whose laid-back dress code recently raised eyebrows, pulled up an app on a tablet that allows him to fully participate in this meeting, as well as communicate with people in his personal life. That's not true, though. It's not true. If you can't fully process language, an app can't make you able to process language. So that's weird. But okay. But yeah, this whole Fetterman story really is. This is the puff piece that follows the dress code beating he was receiving. The tablet has closed captioning capabilities that allow him to read whatever people say to him. Some said he could read before the stroke and after. I'm so sorry. I'm sure many of you had to go through this kind of thing. He went on, adding, I admire everyone who has to live with these kind of struggles and prevail over them. Fetterman concluded by asking how senators can become more empathetic, more responsive, and more effective in providing support for people with disabilities. Okay, I'm confused. Like Fetterman. So is this a committee on aging or disabilities? What's which one is it? Because I'm not sure what that, I don't know what that is. Quote, I think it just takes political will and the will to become accessible, responded one witness. Accessibility engineer Chris Westbrook. It takes making it a priority and just, deciding it is going to be a priority. What is an accessibility engineer? Who the fuck is Chris Westbrook? Who are these people? And what are these made up job titles? Accessibility engineer? Effective exploratory and accessibility tester. Chris Westbrook? Programming analyst. About me. God damn. No, no, come on. I'm not trying to be horrible, okay? I didn't know. It's not my fault. Okay, so I'm currently an accessibility engineer, but I have many years of programming experience. Some of my skills include HTML, JavaScript, SQL, and accessibility testing. I'm also blind, which means I bring a unique perspective to accessibility and web development. Let me know how I can help you or your team. Send me an email. Come on. It's not fair. It's not fair to do to me. How does a blind guy test? How does he test apps? He can't test the app that Fetterman's using because it's. All right. Okay. After Fetterman defeated GOP candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz, is that person still even alive? Like in the November 2022 general election, new technology was needed in the Capitol to help Fetterman communicate with staff and colleagues on a day-to-day basis. Did they just give him like a cave and some chalk to do cave drawings? Like what? What are they? In addition to the tablet he carries with him, is that the technology? It's just a tablet. Oh, we need some new technology. What should we do? Here, have a tablet. Oh my God, we never thought of that. Fetterman has a closed captioning monitor installed at his desk in the Senate chamber so he can follow the proceedings. A custom desk at the center dais has also been equipped with the same technology for Fetterman's use when he presides over Senate hearings. So, okay. All right, I guess. Again, if you can't process language, being able to read doesn't necessarily help you. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe Fetterman's actually really smart, or capable or whatever. He's handy capable, guys. But here's the deal. Here's the ultimate thing on this. We have this weird system where once you get elected, you get hard to not be elected. it's hard to remove you from office. You have to have impeachment. Congress can remove members of the House or the Senate. They can do that. They can get rid of guys, but it's a lot of political will, a lot of political capital to expend on someone who was, at least in their own state, popularly elected, and improperly doing it can generate this ire around you. And for better or worse, I do think that Fetterman shouldn't be in office. But that being said, I'm not comfortable with a system that determines easily who should not be in office, right? Like, I think we can all see the problem with any of these things. And it's the problem every time you say, well, government should have there should be a list, or there should be this or that or something. Government should be able to stop this thing or that thing. And then you go, wait a minute, like if there's an easy path, they can just determine you to be disabled in some way. You're handicapped. Why? You watch Wheel of Fortune. I don't know. Whatever they come up with to remove you is what's scary, or more importantly, to remove who you vote for, who you've gotten elected into office. But it's this balancing test, right? Like Joe Biden is objectively retarded, but we don't remove him. And you don't need to impeach a president, right? You can just Congress and the cabinet can determine they're ineffective and go through the 25th Amendment to remove a president. They can just do that. Take some votes and some letters and a little fight back and forth, but eventually president has to go because they're not fit to serve. And that can be for any reason, any impairment or encumbrance that makes them unfit for office. So I love it because we have this system that allows lunacy to occur, but we also have a system that we are able to cure the lunacy, but it requires a remarkable amount of political will. It requires this massive step from the people involved to say, yeah, we're going to put our dicks on the line and say this person needs to go. And they need to go so bad that we're willing to get unelected because of it. We're willing to put that down. We're willing to energize our opposition to do it, because that should be the trade-off in the political system, is the good of the country over the good of the individual. The problem is most of our individuals have never considered the good of the country, despite the fact that they're supposed to be civil servants. They've chosen to never serve anyone but themselves. And to be very clear on this, because I think people miss this in America, to quote Gordon Gekko, greed, for lack of a better word, is good in private. Radical self-interest is a just fine aspiration to have, especially if you're like an objectivist or a capitalist or whatever. That is an aspirational goal, not one that's required, not one that is uniformly honored or honorable, but it is perfectly understandable to have the bulk of your private life be for the betterment of yourself, your family, and whatever you want it to be. That is noble, because when people are radically self-interested, they will make the world a better place for themselves. We've shown this to be the most true in capitalist societies, even pseudo-capitalist societies. The West has largely built itself into something unfathomable by the world by just letting people make stuff better for themselves. More convenience, air conditioning, cars, airplane. I want to go somewhere faster, right? Like, all of these things come out of this idea that you want to generate more of something for you. Typically money or time are the two things you're going for, because money buys time and time makes money, right? Like they're the resources that we need to harvest and cultivate to live at first and then improve at second. So the people who've wanted to do this have made the world this massively interesting place. And they didn't do it for this good of society reasons. They're usually solving a problem, and solving that problem for themselves ends up benefiting a whole bunch of other people. And they could say like, well, I just wanted everybody to be able to. It's like, no, you wanted to do it. And then you like, it was fine that everybody else could too. And that's okay. That's fine. Communism and socialism, these communal societies, these central planned economies, they don't do that because they don't have the ability for people to risk their own capital, their own labor, their own reputations to do something that will make themselves better. And if they fail, they make themselves worse. But when you start command controlling the economy, command controlling people's time and labor and capital, then what you do is you have to mitigate those risks, because that's the community's money at the end of the day. You can't just, like, if that person fails, well, then the social safety net has to come and rescue them. And the more you do that, the more you stifle innovation, the more you stifle the ability to take risk and to create something unthinkable. That's all fine in private sector, right? Is where I'm getting to, that radical self-interest is great. But the moment you take off the mantle of private citizen, you put on the robe of civil servant, that's when it doesn't become acceptable anymore. And it's odd that that is where we find the most common radical self-interest is now as civil servants. And the demand for a lack of self-interest is in the private sector. And why do we do this? Like, honestly, for the good of the nation, John Fetterman should not be a senator. I don't care if you like him. I don't care what it, like, I don't care anything about it. Objectively, for the good of the nation, someone who's had a stroke and has trouble processing language should not be a lawmaker. I don't think that's even controversial. It has nothing to do with him, his policies, his politics. Same thing with, if some Republican that was good, I can't even think of one, were to have the same thing happen to him tomorrow. They objectively, for the good of the nation, for the good of the community, the commune, they should go. That would be the public good. They should go and be replaced by someone who can process language. Very simple. But in the private sector, it should not be that way. They should be able to maintain their radical self-interest as long as they're able to sustain it personally, either through success or through built up capital. They can do that on their own. And it's so weird that as a country and in greater world society, we've got this idea that that it's the opposite, that we want our representatives to be self-interested, and we want our private sector tycoons and capitalists and workers to be socially interested. The fuck is that? How did we get that backwards? Who fucking tripped that one? Who swindled us into this position? I don't know, man. It's weird to me. But yeah, okay. I mean, that's the Fetterman topic. But look, this guy crying, get the fuck out. Like, stop crying. Oh, someone made fun of you. Good. You're a politician. You deserve it. You deserve all the ridicule you can possibly find. That's what you signed up for. And that's what you deal in too. Let's be honest. Jason of TGA says, we laugh at Fetterman using a tablet and fake app, but fail to draw the connection that Hawking robot voice possibly had no connection to Stephen Hawking, may also have been faked to sell tablets. Stephen Hawking was a pile of garbage. I don't care what anybody says. Just because he was motorized didn't make him suck less. Sorry, I personally hate Stephen Hawking. Aren't you guys tired of hearing how good that guy was? No, Stephen Hawking's great. Really, I'm better than him at a lot of stuff. You know what he's better than me at, though, is adultery. He was good at that one. Oh my God. Now here's the thing with Hawking. Like, look, this is not about Hawking. I mean, I have plenty of Stephen Hawking jokes, but here's the thing about Hawking is that people are specialized and they're really good in their specialties, right? Like, you go talk to Hawking if you want to, talk theoretical physics, astrophysics, math. Great. Perfect. The moment Stephen Hawking wrote an essay about socializing, not socialism, right? But social connectivity between people, I was like, you motherfuckers, take a seat. All right. Like, homie, you don't connect with anybody. Like, you're not even human anymore. You're barely there. You're this little, you're a speak and spell with fucking wheels, for one thing. But also, you're a professor at Cambridge who is not connected. You live in a fucking ivory tower. It's just got a really big wheelchair ramp. Like, why are we listening to this motherfucker talk about human interactivity? He's not the guy to do it. He's not an expert in this. He's not even close. And when I point this out to people, they're like, Stephen Hawking's brilliant. I'm like, he's not even that brilliant. They're like, he's got 2 doctorates. I'm like, I know a guy with 4. Like, that's not impressive. It doesn't make him brilliant. He just happened to write in a field that was really, really interesting to common people because it's fucking space, man. Space is cool. Stephen Hawking's not. But it's not just Stephen Hawking, it's everybody. And it's the thing I always warn high schoolers about whenever I'm teaching high schoolers whatever, is you're going to go to college and you're going to meet these people who have these degrees and they're very smart and articulate in their field of study, and you'll be tempted to think that they're smart and articulate in some other thing, but don't be fooled. They're just retarded like you are. They're an idiot, right? Like they just have a PhD in something else. So don't automatically take their opinions and venerate them. They're just a person. A degree doesn't make them special. But everybody treated Stephen Hawking like he was special instead of just special ed. Guy couldn't even fucking walk. Like, not that impressive. Anyway. I know he's dead. He deserved it. Actually, they'll go back and look at him. Kind of a piece of shit. Like, kind of a piece of shit. Stephen Hawking. That being said. Okay. What else do we have here? I don't know if I want to get into the what the hell was this? Oh God, that's an opinion piece. We'll probably save that one. That one's about insurrectionists. Okay, let's we're coming up on an hour. Let me go ahead and hit the YouTube super chats. We'll get ready to move over to Rumble in just a second, and then we'll go from there. There we go. Jesus DeVilla sent a rainbow. Thank you. Very gay. Chandler H. Barbecue and Ice says, I'm big sad that one of my college friends joined the fire department and is now a big public union guy and is all in on socialism. Unions are a necessary part of the free market. Like unions are fine. Empowering unions is not fine. Giving them legal authority or power over companies is fucking insane. And I don't know how we got to that. Like, okay, a bunch of people want to get together and form a union and have a common interest and bargain against an employer or an industry. Great, fine. If the industry can fire the entire union, that should be fine too, right? Like that should be okay. That's the trade-off. Like, oh, you're all together on this? Sayonara, we'll hire somebody else. Not a big deal to me. The moment you give them legal power, legal bargaining power, a poker chip over the private company, that's when they get insane. But where they're most insane, honestly, is public sector unions. Public sector unions exist to lobby government to follow its own rules, and they do so with your tax dollars against your tax dollars. I don't like them. I don't agree that public service jobs should have a union at all. I think they're extremely dangerous to the concept of liberty. But that's that. But like unions in general are fine so long as unions aren't granted legal authority. The fact that we have a National Labor Relations Board and laws that empower unions once certain thresholds and tipping points are met is silly to me. Like that doesn't make sense. Like the collective bargaining power of a union should just be in the fact that it is a union of people with a common interest, not because a law says so. Once a law says so, it's not a union, it's a force of government. It's a force of government that forces money out of your pocket into its coffers and into the pockets of whatever politician they want. Oh, and by the way, unions are one of those special companies that gets to just funnel money into, certain people's campaigns without any issue. It's amazing how they do that. Corporate money's bad. Union money's fine though. Shredder SO7. Nick just hit the ripe young age of 36, starting a new career. Please give a toast to all the men out there fighting to provide every single day for the ones they love. I got you, brother. Thank you. Shredder, this is not to you. This is to every guy out there, every man out there who's getting up, going out, working, or otherwise earning. Maybe you don't leave the house. Maybe you're really cool with day trading or something, or you sell, I don't know, pickles. I don't know. Anybody who assigns their time, their labor, their ingenuity for the noble struggle of providing shelter, food, clothing, and any other of Maslow's hierarchy to those around them. To all of you out there working the daily grind to improve yourself and improve your friends and family just a little bit. Cheers to you. Keep slugging it away. And may your labor be fruitful. May it multiply beyond the baskets that you bear. And may it overflow all the way home and attract other workers with you to increase your own empire. Cheers. Adrian Robledo says, hey, Nick, I work for Cam and Mindset. I wanted to see if you're interested in some cheap Mexican labor. Already sent an email. I saw your email. I'll get back to you. Pony Up says St. Benitez with another common W. It's so great. We're going to get into it really soon. Kate of the Swiss says, so Pennsylvania elected Lurch. Yes. Yes, they did. Monk in Training says, on Fetterman, it's his fault and he deserves it. Damn. Elephant with the eyes. Ellie, that was rude. Ellie sent the eyes right after I pulled up the picture of that blind guy. God damn, woman. It's violent. Apex Visual Solutions. Didn't send any message, just the name. Rich88 says the mayor of Chicago's answer to retail theft, closing grocery stores, is government owned and run grocery stores. Welcome to the Soviet Union. Oh, well, I mean, nothing wrong with a government run grocery store. I'm sure they'll be fine. You'll have like, you know, I don't good luck buying bread. Nick Naylor, the boys are raiding Lady Vox. We need a bard. You coming? Oh, stop it. Stop it, you bastard. Also, Lady Vox is a bitch. What a shitty fight that was. Matt Walsh is Nick Ricada's bull says, congrats on agreeing with me on fake Redpill shills. Matt Walsh, even when I agree with you, I disagree. Slap.com says Pitbull's banned in the UK. Dogs of peace lose again. Oh, shit. Really? They banned Pitbulls? Holy shit. Oh, that's kind of wild. Oh, I should do this real quick. Here we go. Hey, guys, as always, well, as most of the time, I wanted to go ahead and throw a shout out to the sponsor today, which is fieldofgreens.com. Fieldofgreens.com, promo code NOSE. See, Field of Greens is wonderful. Organic superfood. You add a powdered up set of fruits and vegetables to liquid, and you drink it. You get a serving of fruit, serving of vegetables straight from that drink. Very easy to do. Tastes good, is wonderful. But that's not all they sell at Brickhouse Nutrition. They also have this guy, which I have not tried. They sent me this thing. This is a 1 month supply, I believe. 1 month supply of lean weight loss. This is a dietary supplement. You take some of these capsules during the day, and it helps shred the pounds off of you, they say. This is one of the few times I cannot actually endorse the veracity of this product because I have not tried it. Because if I lose more weight, I will look like Eugenia Cooney, and that would be even more embarrassing than I already am. But I do look. This is something they offer. I don't have any of the Field of Greens powder right now to actually try out, but I do have some of these. What I think I'm going to do is send them to someone to try out and see if they want to do the 30-day challenge and give us some before and after. But just wanted to let you guys know that this is on the same website, fieldofgreens.com. Is actually brickhousenutrition.com. You can use promo code NOSE and get some money off. If you're looking for a weight loss supplement to try out, one that is, made by the same people who make Field of Greens, company you may have come to grow and know and trust. You can try this out. You can use promo code NOSE, get a discount on it as well. But I wanted to let you guys know that it is available out there, and they do have this product. I can't test this one. Like I can't do that. But we'll send it to someone who can see if it works out for them. But yes, you can though. I can vouch for the powder. I just can't drink it on stream because I drank it all already. It is really good. It's weird because you don't think something like that's going to actually be tasty, but it is tasty. And hey, it's nice for energy, antioxidants, and of course, that natural fruit and vegetable servings that make for a balanced diet, like those old breakfast commercials. So go ahead, fieldofgreens.com, promo code NOSE. Thank you to them for sponsoring the show, as always. Slosher says, I'm changing my Twitter handle to a speak and spell with wheels and a picture to Stephen Hawking. Thanks for the laugh. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime you want me to mock the disabled, you just come right here and ask. Ellie Fan says, does Field of Greens help you see? Asking for a friend. Ellie, stop. Stop it. All right. With that, guys, we are going to pop over to Rumble exclusively. We're over on Rumble. We got 7,000 people over on Rumble right now. And, having some more of you from the YouTube land pop over there and check it out would always be lovely. So come hang out with us over on Rumble as we finish up the show. Next thing we're talking about is the California magazine ban getting blocked by St. Benitez of the Black Robes. And we will see you there after this short little interlude. Just Incredible. Incredible says 38 years old and just started 1L. Can I get a toast for success and a little advice from one old guy to another? Cheers to you with Glenlivet Caribbean Reserve. Yeah. Yes. Good timing. That's the New Year one. Damn. I was seeing if I had any Caribbean themed liquor, but I don't right now. So we're going to drink this barrel bourbon, New Year's cask strength. For the toast. I haven't had barrel in a little bit. But I love the Glenlivet. I love the Glenfiddich as well. So here we go. To Just Incredible, 38 years old, first year of law school. A lot of people have asked me, is it too late for me to start law school? It's like, well, no. Just know what you're getting into, know what you're looking to do with it. But if you want to practice law, if you want to help people, it's never too late. Non-traditional students can do extremely well in law school. And personally, I would prefer to hire lawyers with a little bit of life experience. There's a lot of lawyers out there who go through, the school and then college and then straight into law school, and they come out and they're 20, 24, 25 years old with their law degree, and they pass the bar, and then they're supposed to help people navigate like a divorce or a custody situation or the sale or acquisition of a business. And I'm like, how do you guys know what to advise people on? Like, you can advise them legally, but you're not just a legal advisor as a lawyer. You're a life advisor in a lot of ways. And so I prefer my lawyers to have lived a little bit. Cheers to you on getting what you're after. May you find success in law school. Read just enough to know what you're talking about. Have a little fun, and remember that you still do have a life going on while you endure those classes, and your life experience will take you quite a long way through that, brother. Cheers to you, my man. Good luck. All right. Now we're moving over to Rumble. I will see you guys there in just a minute. And if you don't come back, or if you don't come over to Rumble, we'll see you tomorrow on YouTube, and we'll have more wacky shenanigans going on. Catch you then. Peace. Peace.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, Ladies and gentlemen,